Hello guys, my name is Riku and today we're going to try a game called Danganronpa Lapse. It's a game on itch.io made by Cynthia. So this is supposed to be the prologue one, I guess. So this is a visual novel, kind of like in the original game, but this is fan made, I think. But Renpy, made with Renpy, nice. So the author is Cynthia. We got 5-star ratings, that's really nice. Well, I will leave the link down below so you can check it out. But seriously, the artwork is really nice, so I'm gonna try it out. So let's start. Ring, ring, ring. I think we should be here, hiding in the darkness. Ring, ring, ring. What is that sound? Ring, ring, ring. Damn. I opened my heavy eyes to see an unfamiliar room. Guess I was asleep, but where? This isn't my room. I turned my head the right to see a small old-fashioned alarm clock on the nightstand. Okay, the time read 7:30. 7:30 in the morning or evening. I reached over to stop the alarm when suddenly I felt a dull pain in the back of my head. I sat up from the bed to rub my head and shut off the alarm, and it was then did I really take in the surroundings. The room gave off an ambience of comfort. The lighting was calming against the warm colored walls. The furniture was devoid of any dust or dirt, and the bed itself was extremely plush. It was overall a rather luxurious room without seemingly overly elegant in its design. The only odd thing about it was that there didn't seem to be any windows. There were curtains, but they were drawn open against a wall featuring a single unassuming painting. The room is comfortable enough, but how on earth did I get here? Ooh. I closed my eyes and furrowed my brow. Think back, remember who you are and what you were doing last. Ah, that's right. My name is Ecopine. Is it Ecopine or Ecopine? Ecopine. Look, the last thing I remember is seeing my best friend Ashley off for the day as she went to take care of her horses. Ashley, I wonder if she made it home alright. I admit I was a little less thorough in making sure she made it into her house that late afternoon, but I'm sure she's alright. I hope. I racked my brain thinking about that evening. Alright, thanks for the lift, and be careful with your ankle. I can't believe you insisted on driving even though it's broken. Ecopine. It's no problem at all. Besides, my ankle is almost done healing, so it's no big deal. It's not like I drive with that foot anyway. I'm just worried since I can't walk you to the door. My house is right there. You don't need to worry. Oh, something's wrong with my voice right now. I'm sorry guys. I watched as she shut the car door, waved goodbye, and walked across her front lawn to her house. Normally, I walk my friends to the door whenever I drop them off in the evening since you never know what could happen, but my ankle was giving me trouble. By the way guys, just a little warning. If somehow you see a cut, that means I paused the game for a bit so I can do my stuff when it comes up. So I just left the car in the park and watched as Ashley crossed the lawn. Her porch light wasn't on, so as she got closer to the house, she faded into the evening shadows. I waited a few more minutes until I heard her front door close. Click. Okay, time to get home. I started up the car and drove into the night, but upon passing, I didn't see her living room light turn on. I was worried, but I was certain I heard her front door closed. Was I certain though? I remember clearly driving up, not seeing her living room light turn on, and then boom, black. Suddenly a darkness welled up inside me. Am I in this strange unknown remote location? Because I didn't make sure my friend was safe in her home. No, that's absurd. Those two things can be linked together just because I was less cautious than usual. I looked around the room once more and then realized I didn't have any of my personal possessions on hand or in the room itself. No phone to call Ashley to make sure she's okay, sure. There was an ancient landline service phone in the room, but who knows where on earth I am. I started to panic. I have to get out of here. I got so caught up in both of my head and an unprovoked fear that I threw the door open with full force, nearly hitting the person just outside. And that person just happened to be... Whoa, watch it! Ash? Echo? It was strange. The very friend I thought I suffered a consequence for not making sure they made it home safe was standing right in front of me for some inexplicable reason. You're okay? Okay. Ashley Westbridge, a dear old friend of mine. She's what some people would call a house girl. Wait a minute. Is this the American branch of, Danganronpa? Because that would be really interesting. Because I want to see the different kind of versions, like what is happening in the entire world, like maybe in Europe or something like that. But this is nice. Which seems like a big thing to call someone who just happens to tend to against that irreverent thought aside. Irreverent? Irrelevant? Yeah, of course I'm okay. But what about you? You're pale as a ghost. Ha! I just got a little worked up, is all. I woke up in this unknown place and I thought it was because I didn't see your lights go on in your house before I drove off. You don't have to worry about a thing. I made it home to take care of Hyperion, all in one piece. I was just a little tired is all, so I went straight to the stables behind the house. Oh my god, what the hell? Wrapped me Ashley wrapped me in a big familiar hug and I immediately felt calm. Thanks Ash. I know I shouldn't get so worked up about stuff like that, but sometimes I can't help it. It's nothing, Echo. Besides, I can totally understand where it might come from, especially in this scenario. With my mind and heart at ease, I discussed the situation with Ashley. I told her that I woke up not long ago due to the alarm clock that was provided, and her experience was just the same. I don't have anything of note in my room either. I don't have any of my things with me, like my handbag or phone. Can we read the song, mate? There we go. Should we save? No, not yet. It's odd, although there aren't any answers to the obvious questions like, how did we get here? Where are my things? Etc. etc. I strangely feel comfortable here. I think it might be that super plush bed. Not going to lie, I'd really like that back home. We laughed among ourselves and decided to explore what seemed to be some sort of mansion. I still felt uneasy, but thanks to seeing a familiar face, I felt a little safer. I closed my room door behind me, noticing there was a plaque that was adorned with the symbol of my high school. I looked further down the hall at the various other plaques that shared the same features. I spotted Ashley's right away as well. It seems her room was just adjacent to mine across the hall. Looks like there are other students here as well. Seems that way. Although I haven't run into anyone yet, not literally like you. Of course. Very funny. The whole interior was all very ornate, with dark wood lining the walls and candle sconces lighting the path. Sconces. Sorry guys, my English. The dark wood floor was covered in a thick woven rug that created a path toward an opening in the hallway. Oh, what happened? I think I can hear some others down the hall. Ashley took the lead as we curiously walked through the hall, taking in the ambience as we gazed at the miscellaneous paintings of nature that hung on the wall. Sure enough, there were 3 other students having a lively chat in the foyer. Hey, you two, good of you to make it. I was wondering how many other students there who were around here. You could just count on you. Oh no, my English. You could just count how many doors with plaques there are in the living quarters hallway. Nah, I'm not attentive enough for something like that. I'll just figure it out from how many of ya I meet up with. You're gonna die. You're awfully carefree, aren't you? She looks smart. Not because of her glasses, it's because of her stare. I took in the atmosphere of the foyer before approaching the 3 students. The main clearing was huge. It featured a shiny white marble floor extending into 2 spiraling staircases on either side of its circular walls. An elevator resided in the center of the wall, opposite from the front door. In the center was a beautiful chandelier hanging from the ceiling and a delicate glass table at ground level. The glass table itself was rather bare, only containing a decorative flower vase and a silver platter that revealed a very polite note. Thank you for joining us on this momentous occasion. Please make your welcome official by signing in utilizing the bracelet that have been freely provided. So instead of tablets, they give you bracelets. Simply tap the bracelet to the digital kiosk that is located at the foot of the stairs. I lifted my left wrist to see the bracelet in question. It was a simple thing. A rose gold plate with my name on it strung into a bracelet with a small chain of the same color. I hadn't even noticed it until now. Ashley was admiring hers just as I did. She was already decorated with her own accessories, but the new one didn't seem to disturb her overall look regardless. I looked over at the other students' wrists as well, and they all had the same thing, albeit presumably with their own names. What was the purpose of these things anyway? I decided to cut the cold silence with a question. Why, hello there. Hello there, have you 3 already scanned your bracelets? Yes, well, we all convened here just a few minutes ago. I would recommend you scan your bracelets as well, since it's grant access to the rooms after the welcome. Oh, well then, don't mind if I do. I went over to the aforementioned surprisingly modern digital kiosk that was blatantly out of place among the more vintage-looking decor. Before scanning, the screen displayed a simple map of the first floor layout. From the looks of it, the foyer connected to the 4 locations: the living quarters, the dining hall, and the study. The study and the theater. Okay. I held up my wrist close to the screen and it quickly detected my bracelet displaying my name and the profile of my face. Similar to how an ID card would, however, there wasn't any further information besides my name and my birthday. After the verification, there was a welcome screen. Thank you for signing in. You may now roam the first floor freely. Please make yourself comfortable with all the given accommodations, and once again, welcome. The screen went to the original map screen as it was before I scanned my bracelet. I stepped aside to let Ashley sign in as well, and in the meantime got to introducing myself to the other students. Hey there, I'm Echo Pine, and this is my friend Ashley Westbridge. Art Compapiano. Campopiano. He must be Italian. I'm Arturo Campopiano. Campopiano. But just art is perfectly fine. Missy Vesper. And no, Missy is not a nickname for anything. Oh, she's the Kanon Ota. Are any of you three in any association with each other? No, absolutely not. From the way they directed their voices, Missy and Kanon seem to have it with art from their brief meeting. I see. A friendly bunch, huh? Come on, let's all go to the dining hall. I bet all could use a snack to lighten the mood. I'm in favor of that idea. I'd like to explore the floor as well. Yeah, I wonder who else we're going to run into. Missy walked briskly toward the dining hall, which was just opposite of the living quarters hall where we entered the foyer. Art followed quickly after, which just left Kanon back in the giant clearing. I'll explore at my own pace, thank you. With a curt and definitive statement, she made her case, stating that she was going to stay put in the foyer. With nothing left to do in the foyer, I went with Ashley to the dining hall. The dining hall was a rather intimate setting. A single long table sitting with a chandelier to light the room. There was a cozy-looking fireplace on the far wall with a painting in an ornate picture frame hanging on the wall just above it. The table setting bore 16 chairs, 14 on each side and 2 on the heads of the table. The table was already decorated with light accessories, candelabra, small vases of flowers, and an encyclopedia about ships. The room itself was connected to a small kitchen, one with the usual kitchen staple appliances: an oven, a fridge, a large dishwasher sink, a gas range, and all the utensils and tools one might need. Oh. A small storehouse pantry was off to the side, with nothing of readily edible interest to the common person. Wow, this place is super loaded, huh? Art sat on one of the seats and kicked his feet up on the table as he looked around the room. Missy noticeably shook her head at the action. I wonder if no one else woke up yet. Suddenly the painting on the fireplace went black like a television screen. A faint image of what looked like an emblem then appeared on screen. Wait, it's starting? But the other people are not yet in the room or something like that. An announcement voice came from overhead speakers. It was a silvery and rather modulated voice. Thank you for joining us today. We hope you have a lovely stay. Feel free to utilize the kitchen to your heart's content, or if you are unable to, you may use the automated cook feature by tapping your bracelet onto the kitchen's digital kiosk and selecting a meal. Or if neither of those suit your particular taste, you may consult your group's ultimate level kitchen hand. Yeah, everyone's a talent here. Maybe that girl is an ultimate glider? The screen then went black once more and returned to its initial painting screen. But what did that mean? What's an ultimate level kitchen hand? I turned to ask one of the other students, but it looked like Art had already figured it out. Or rather, figured something out. Whatever he started talking about next made no sense to me. Oh, I get it. This is a safe house the government provided for us since we signed up for the preservation project. Huh? You signed up to be here? Yeah, of course. If I guess correctly, we all seem to be ultimate students. So for this moment, wherever they are, maybe in the States, They are aware that they have signed something, but and they didn't get brainwashed. Kinda like that. It's not like in the Danganronpa in Japan. To them, they volunteered or maybe signed up for this kind of project in case something happened in the world. So they already know all of these people are talented or gifted at something. Maybe something that the world would need. And my guess is that somehow the system got hacked by, the bear. Or maybe something else that wants to put despair in the game. Yes, that seems to be the case. What's an ultimate student? Don't tell me you don't know. Oh man, what are you even doing here? Ultimate students are typically high school students that are super excelled in their field of expertise. They are often scouted by groups with various intentions, virtuous of nefarious or nefarious. So you're saying everyone here is super talented? You're kidding, right? You've been walking around this whole time with Ashley Westbridae, the ultimate jockey, and you didn't even know? Nice. Ashley Westbridae, the ultimate jockey. Oh, I don't really talk about my talent outside my work. Honestly, I just thought you were a typical horoscope. I don't know whether to find that humbling or insulting to my talent. So Ashley holds the title of Ultimate Jockey, huh? I'm curious to know what that implies. I never knew her to be particularly eccentric when it came to her lifestyle at the stables. For how long during our friendship did she have that title? I'll have to ask her later. For now, I'll just learn about the other students here. Okay, let's go with Art. Your name is Art, right? May I ask what your talent is? Sure, I'm the ultimate golfer. Art Campopiano. I'll never miss my mark. Total holes in one all day, every day. Wow, you beat in Tiger Woods. Then, wow, how did you manage that? I don't know. I can't stand having to put more energy into extra strokes, so I make this first and last one count. What kind of reasoning is that? To become a pro golfer? That's an interesting way to go about it. I can't even imagine being able to control the club like that. It took a lot of practice for sure. I've had to fail a lot to get where I am, and I'm stronger for it. Art seems to have taken a lot of pride with his title. It's admirable. Okay, let's go with Missy Vesper. What those individual groups are institutions. Damn, this girl has deep words. Do within students is beyond me. I've not heard many stories of success or failure from anyone who's had the luxury of being accepted. In any case, don't take much stock in the title. It's all I'm saying. I have to admit though, I'm rather curious of the titles now that you brought it up. So be it, I'm the ultimate tactician. I mean, that's cool. So she's gonna be the one that, I don't know, makes plans for us someday. Tactician, like battle tactics? No, it's more like political campaign tactics and strategies. The less interesting of the two people usually think of. I've been at the forefront of numerous political campaigns and battles, many of which I've been employed to strategize against my opposing forces. Really? Aren't you basically manipulating the winner outcome then? The choice is not mine but the people's. I simply put the message out, framing it in the most self-beneficial way possible for each side. I think political campaigns can be interesting, but wouldn't ultimate campaign manager be a more appropriate title? Well, I'm not the only one. The only what? I'm not the one who came up with the title. I see. Missy seems to be a very self-assured person who doesn't seem to care much for the extravagance an ultimate title implies. I should explore other locations and find out more about the other students' talents. The study is rather small but filled to the ceiling with encyclopedias covering all kinds of subjects ranging from medical to athletic. There is a small office corner for those to study any of the books provided. Another digital kiosk kiosks off to the side showing a searchable list of books in the study. There were two students occupying space, a meek-looking student hiding in the corner and a green-haired student looking at the book selection. Oh wow, there's a huge book on equestrian equipment? Huh, you would be excited about that. What? Now that you know I'm the ultimate jockey, it all makes sense? No, you're still the same old horse girl. I know, but with a fancy title. True, true. Let's go with the mixed student. I approached the mixed student standing in one of the dark corners of the study. Hey there. Yeet. Sorry to spook you. I was just going around meeting everyone. I'm Echo Pine. I was I was dragged out of my room by that guy over there. He's evil. I peered over at the aforementioned person who just looked to be calmly inspecting the rows of books. Oh, fine, he didn't drag me out. I ran into him when I was trying to find this study. Now I have to share the room with someone. Can you tell me about yourself? Me? I'm Sei Konno. I'm a watchmaker? The ultimate watchmaker. Would you then by chance be called the ultimate watchmaker? I guess you could say that. I just tinker with watches and stuff. They go for really high prices apparently, but I don't particularly care for the money. Seiko Konno, ultimate watchmaker. Yeah. Someone once offered me these luxury cars for a single watch. I can't even drive. True, there are watches that are freaking expensive. She climbed up and awkwardly turned back around to face the bookshelf corner. I didn't want to pry, so I just left her alone. A tall figure stands gazing at the selection of books. It's rather comfortable here, is it not? You could spend days in this well-kept study learning about whatever your heart desires. There isn't any sign of dust settling, so it must be tended to very often. Definitely they knew what they were doing when it comes to accommodations. Ah, I see you're aware of the preservation project situation. Yeah, I suppose, but if I'm being honest, I'm not sure I know what my talent is, since I guess that preservation thing seems to revolve around it. I mean, you're the ultimate normal person, dude. I see. I don't know that being aware of your talent is a requirement. After all, you might have some innate skills that you personally think are average. You think so? I feel pretty ordinary, and I've never really been a center of mass attention for anything in particular. I wouldn't worry about it. Whatever underlying passion or talent you have is for you and you alone to enjoy. That's reassuring. I feel like I've stumbled into something out my league with so many skilled students. If you don't mind my asking, what's your ultimate talent? It's hard to describe. I'm called the ultimate charisma. Cyrus Suryc. By the way, Cyrus Suryc. Ultimate charisma. What the heck is that? Huh? I don't really understand the implication of that title, but I can certainly feel it from how approachable this guy is. Let's explore the next location. Ashley and I walk across the hallways once again to our next location, the theater. The theater was something to behold. Although it was a fairly intimate scene with a few row seats and medium-sized stage, it still had an air of elegance thanks to the decor. The curtains were rich red velvet, with thick golden tassels holding the heavy curtains open. The stage itself was occupied by three students who seemed to be having a heated discussion. The ultimate debater. You really want to stand by that theory? Ultimate philosopher? Hey, to each their own. I'm not knocking you for not thinking the obvious. Let's settle down, please. Absolutely not. I have no intention of changing my view of this scoundrel. Gee, scoundrel, that's cold, especially as to a stranger. You two don't need to get so heated about something like this. It's an important matter between two strongly opinionated people. So we agree on that matter. Maybe I should cut in. What's going on here? A tree turned around, surprised presumably from not being able to see me at the unlit foot of the stage. Ooh. Need to ask such a foolish question? We are discussing the dire, apparently questionable existence of this. The white-haired student crouched down to reveal a painting that was turned away from the audience. It was a framed picture of what looked like inkblot art. What? Oh, I see. You're trying to figure out what the painting is. Yes, and what do you see? Stare at it for him, but look up at the two, but patiently in all seriousness waiting for my answer. Wait. I think it looks like, God, my eyes. I can't see nothing, to be honest. Am I that shallow? Nope, I don't really see anything. I'll have to think about it. No immediate answer. I felt this judging eyes pierce my soul. It's a owl. Not everything has to be a dog. It's clearly an elephant. So just a different four-legged animal, you mean? I just try to talk to them individually. Let's talk to the white-haired guy. I visited the white-haired student on this stage. So about the painting, I think I do see the elephant. No need to feign understanding. I am quite self-assured that the painter's intention was to illustrate an elephant as abstract as it appears. I stared at the painting a little bit longer. The more I look at it, the more Forte came to true subject. Elephant. Wait, I'm gonna look farther. Still, I don't see it. So you have an eye for this kind of thing? Of course not. I'm the ultimate opera singer, not ultimate artist. Although you know, as they say, the artist is dead, so my interpretation is just as valid, since interpreting is an art form as well. He rambled on about painting some more before stopping himself. But where are my manners? Forte solo, pleasure. Forte solo, ultimate opera singer. He gave a deep bow as he introduced himself slowly, rose and went to look at the painting some more, indicating an end to the conversation. He sure has some interesting place dramatic moments. Dark-haired guy. I approached the student wearing the fur-lined jacket. So, about the painting, I think I do see the dog. No need to lie, I don't particularly care either way. I don't actually know what it is either, so I made something up. Just to trigger the guy. I stare at the painting a little bit longer. The more I look at it, the more I will into being what Lyle said it was. Freaking hell, where's the dog? Is this the ears? Huh? Isn't that a little cruel? I just wanted him to explain himself, but he truly wouldn't. Well, anyway, I'm just going around meeting all the ultimate students. I would tell you mine if I had one. You don't have an ultimate title? Or can't remember? Hmm? He seemed to be muttering under his breath about my last statement about... But I paid him no mind and waited for his response. I'm Lyle Termina, the ultimate puzzlemaster, a connoisseur of word puzzles, block puzzles, escape room puzzles, and the like. Wow, so this guy has a really big advantage for our team then. Lyle D. Termina, ultimate puzzlemaster. Puzzle, huh? Maybe he was trying to unscramble the shapes in that painting. The apron-wearing student. The girl who was caught in the middle of the crowd stepped down from the stage and left the other two to glare at each other in silence. Pandora, Espère, nice to meet you. Likewise, I'm Ecopine. Ecopine? Huh? Was it just me or did she chuckle at my name? She seemed to have noticed the quiet laugh as well as she paused briefly before introducing herself, as if to process that same small laugh. What the? Am I missing something? So I was informed that this little group of students is composed of students that have ultimate talents. Did you happen to have a title or of some sort? Oh yes, I'm known as the Ultimate Baker. Nice. Pandora Espère, Ultimate Baker. And yourself? About that, I don't seem to know. I don't think I have one. If I'm being honest. That's no matter. It doesn't make you any more or less of a person. So what do you think the painting is? I'm not really sure either, but for something as ambiguous as that, it can be whatever the viewer wants it to be, right? I suppose so. Pandora, she's such a gentle soul. True. After wandering around the first floor, Ashley and I paused in the hallway to gather our thoughts. So those are all the available locations on this floor. I guess the rooms are interesting enough. But more importantly, I wonder just how many other students there are. That one blue-haired student, Kanon, just counted the doors, right? Why don't we go check it out? But who knows if there are more students on other floors. There were stairs going up in the foyer, so we could check that area out too. And speaking of Kanon, I wonder what her talent is. Wait, that aside, how did I ever know you had the super talent in horse racing? Huh? Well, it just never came up. I knew a lot of people before you who didn't particularly care for how much time I'd spent at the stables and racetrack, so I just stopped bringing it up. So what does being an ultimate level jockey imply? Does that mean you win a lot? Come on, Echo, I don't want to bore you with superficial numbers. I just say my win percentage is 44% and top 3% percentage is 84%. I don't know what are those numbers supposed to mean. Anyway, I'm not just a horse girl. I have other pets too. Yeah, like your cat, Apples. Of course you remember Apples. How could I not? She clawed up all my school vest. Okay, something's starting. Okay guys, BRB. Just went and take a drink. Then an announcement came over what seemed to be a hidden overheard speakers in the ceiling. It is now 9 AM. The second floor amenities are now open and will stay open until 5 PM. Second floor? After the announcement, we saw some students filter out of the first floor rooms and into the halls. Oh, Ashley and Echo, would you like to visit the second floor with me? Sure, we were just wondering about it as well. By the way, did you get anything to eat from the dining hall? Huh? Oh no, I was a little distracted by the whole ultimate students thing. You're in luck, I made some croissants earlier. Here, help yourself. She produced a small wrapped batch of bite-sized croissants from her apron pocket. Ashley and I looked, and I took one each and bit into the flaky buttery dough. Oh, that's cute. Wow, this is incredible. That's the ultimate baker for you. Wait, says delicious. Merci, but it's nothing at all. I just really enjoy baking. The look on people's faces when they eat something delectable. The warm fuzzy feeling you get when you eat your favorite food, such a feeling is priceless. Pandora was right. After biting into the croissant, I felt such an intense nostalgia for my younger days when I was more carefree. That was the power. That was the power of an ultimate baker's delicacies to invoke a warmth and sense of familiarity. What a wonderful thing. Shall we get going then? Certainly. The three of us walked back down the hallway toward the foyer where the stairs to the second floor were. I expected to see Kanon, but it seems like she didn't stay put in the foyer. Hey Pandora, have you met that blue-haired student Kanon? Kanon? I can say that I have. I only met you two, Forte and Lyle. I went to the dining hall and then the theater, but Forte and Lyle really kept me from going anywhere else with their argument, honestly. Pandora laughed lightly and went on her merry way up the stairs. Ashley and I followed suit, and we were met with another digital kiosk at the top of the staircase. Atrium Spa Lounge Climbing Century Jazz Club. The screen displayed another map, this time of the second floor locations: the Atrium, the Spa Lounge, the Climbing Center, and the Jazz Club. What kind of mansion has a climbing center in it? Maybe the owner is an eccentric rock climber. The ultimate sports climb master. I think it's to cater to the unique talents of various students. It's likely since the kitchen storehouse on the first floor is incredibly well stocked. If I really wanted to, I could make my own dough here. I can imagine other ultimate cooks would be pleased with the selection as well. That's a good point. There was a theater here. After all, Forte and other ultimate performers probably utilized the room as a place to further hone their skills. Preservation project, huh? They really know how to accommodate some intense and unique students. I wonder what kind of group has the ability to provide such a vast selection of activities and resources. Where to first? I'm curious about the climbing center. This mansion must be huge if it can house something exciting like that here. I like to see the spa lounge. It must be a lovely, relaxing place. Echo, why don't you decide? Huh? Okay. Spa lounge. Okay, let's go to the climbing center first. Let's explore the climbing center. We inspected the map for the road to the center and made our way there in no time at all. The climbing center was a unique place. Colorful artificial rock walls lined the interior of the room as well as created some odd columns in the center. The walls reached upward to what looked to be 3 stories high, towards a bright, naturally lit ceiling. Off to the side was a preparation locker room full of ropes and harnesses, as well as a small vending machine full of energy drinks and water bottles. Whoa, people actually do this kind of stuff? I approached the wall and gripped one of the artificial rocks. I couldn't imagine how callous an ultimate climber's hands would be. The world's suddenly full of interesting people and talents. Pandora also approached one of the walls and inspected the many artificial rocks lining the wall. Yeah, I'm an athlete, but not in this sense. I couldn't possibly have the stamina for something like bouldering. Nor do I have a good tolerance for heights. How did you two discover your talents anyway? Ashley pondered the question for a second. I was raised in the countryside on a farm, so it probably came to me like a second nature. As a child, going to the racetrack with my father was honestly just another errand. That is, until he let me ride a horse myself. I felt a love for the I felt a love for the exhilarating competition at that point. I was homeschooled by by my mother's one a teacher and one prolific baker. They taught me everything I know about baking. I also cherished the enjoyment people felt when tasting my baked goods. Eventually, I too felt a love for the task at hand. Wow, you two are truly incredible. Echo, you're an incredible person too. Don't let labels deter you from speaking to us as anything but your peers. They were so humble when talking about their ultimate talents. I wondered if I could ever measure up. After that, a brief heart's wart, we set up to visit the spa lounge. The spa lounge was a serene open room. There was a pool in the center of the room with a ring of comfortable looking massage chairs surrounding it. Overall, it was decorated with a relaxing ambience in mind, plants and small waterworks. Statues accessorized the area for a natural feel. Oh, I wouldn't mind spending some time here. Pandora sat in one of the lounge chairs, stretching her arms above her head before relaxing her hands on her lap. But now that I think about it, are facilities like this meant to be self-run by the residing students? It's like Big Brother, man. Pandora brought up a good point. The kitchen offered fully automated meals, but they still offered the option of having the students utilize the kitchen and tools. It was likely the massage chairs were automated as well, but to feel the full experience, an ultimate massage service would excel. If you consider my talent and arts, there might be a racetrack or golf course outside the mansion. Perhaps, if you can go outside. So does that mean there are other facilities activities that are specific to certain talents? Jazz club. Wondering about, we came across the jazz club. It had a refined ambience to it. I imagine it was incredibly lively and high energy place when there were performances. There were table settings occupying the majority of the space with a small stage in the middle for the performers. The music venue itself was stocked with all sorts of sound equipment and instruments of various sizes. The bar had shelves upon shelves of alcoholic beverage locked behind a sturdy glass case. A pretty classy atmosphere, huh? I wonder how many ultimate stunts have toured this room for performances. Many, I'm sure. It's well kept among the rest of the room, so I'd be no surprise one would feel comfortable here. Then I thought Then a thought crossed my mind. Do you think I could be some kind of ultimate jazz performer or ultimate bartender? Have you ever handled an instrument before or mixed beverages? No, but who knows? Maybe if I pick something up, I'll suddenly be sticking with the ultimate talent revelation and play like a pro. Cyrus said maybe it's an innate trait waiting to be discovered. It occurred to me that perhaps these rooms aren't just for students with existing skills, but they're also a sandbox for budding talents. There's no harm in trying. Why not? I'd like to see the moment a talent has been realized. Relieved that they supported my odd idea, I felt a strange confidence rising. Cheerfully, I went behind the stage and picked an instrument I thought would suit me. Ashley and Per both took a seat in front row and watched in anticipation. I felt like a kid going through a toy box with how many options there were. How about this solo? Go for it. Pandora gleefully cheered me on as I gripped the bow and placed my fingers on the strings across the neck. I laid the bow across the strings. And then, squang. The sound I created tore through the air like a giant rubber duck was being stepped on. It was awful. And then the ultimate magician came in and said, "Stop!" I saw Ashley and Pandora flinch from the sound, but they still put on a brave face for my sake. I chuckled nervously and gently placed the instrument back where it originally was. Yeah, I guess that's not it, huh? I wobbled over from the stage to the table. The others were sitting at and flopped down morally. I was beyond embarrassed. Ah, don't despair. Despair. You just haven't found it yet. Yeah, Echo, not just anyone can handle an instrument. I mean, I thought that thing was supposed to be played like a giant guitar. I'm surprised you even knew how to approach holding it. I've seen performers before, so I just imitated what I saw. Oh, that makes sense. Pandora held my hand in a firm grasp. Listen, we're going to find out what your talent is. If we have to play 100 instruments poorly, at least we'll know we're one step closer to finding that possibility. Pandora reassured me and Ashley gave me a warm smile. Thanks you too. Come, let's keep exploring. When we come back, we left just come and seemed like the room was soundproof since we ran into an unperturbed Cyrus and Lyle in the hallway just outside. Hello there, having a fulfilling time exploring? Yeah, totally. What's up with you? Don't tell me you were trying to get a drink from behind the bar. Lyle, please, Echo isn't like that. Well, I'm aware of the alcohol consumption age. Thank you very much. Okay, it's starting. Then the sound of ringing and the voice rang through the speakers. Okay, here it is. Your attention please. All students assemble in the second floor atrium for a special welcome ceremony. Okay, let's do this, guys. The five of us glanced at each other and silently agreed to follow suit. Oh, you can see it outside. We walked through the clearing between the stairs and the atrium. The atrium was a vast opening. The ceiling to the floor were currently on a bore a large hole that allowed skylight to pour in, as well as allowed greenery growing in the center to reach 2 floors up. On the ground level of it all were groups of seating and plant life meant for the people in passing to relax. There was a bronze globe hanging in the center of the garden that added that extra luxurious feel among the nature. Light and warmth flooded my body, filling me with serenity. Whoa! A light voice cut through the air, disturbing that serenity. Check this place out. Dang, wouldn't it be awesome if they had a mini golf set up in here? How cute would that be? Plenty cute. Yeah, sure, whatever. Art and Missy entered the atrium from the foyer stairway entrance. I was surprised to see her still hanging with Art, with a timid say trailing behind them, no less. Slowly the students gathered in the center of the atrium hall. Kanon and Forte leisurely made their way in much later than the rest of us, but arrived regardless. We saw all the students had previously met, but afterwards no one else came. This is a special announcement indicating the welcome of all present students. Art, Pandora, say. What Kanon, Forte, Cyrus. Kanon is a big mystery for now. Lyle, Missy, Ashley, and me. There were 10 of us, including myself. Kind of a tiny class, huh? Art whispered the same observation I made. It was true that our class was rather small, but were we really going to be doing any learning here? The hanging globe projected a screen with the same emblem from the dining hall announcement, with the announcement voice coming from the overhead speakers. The Preservation Project Group would like to humbly welcome you all to your provided safe house. As you might be aware, there have been earth-shattering quakes tearing through the planet. Huh? Earth-shattering quakes? This is the first I've heard of it. I peered at the other students who were nodding as if they'd already been informed by this. Maybe I wasn't in a dangerous area. As ultimate students, we provide you with the best amenities and environments to most efficiently cultivate your skills and talents in utter safety. You may utilize the facilities to the fullest extent during the requisite hours. However, do not think of this simply as a safe house. This location is more than equipped for you to thoroughly indulge yourselves with exquisite experiences. The students murmured in excitement at the prospect. Please do not hesitate to think of this as sort of vacation away from it all. Awesome. Art audibly pumped his fist in the air. Although no one has displayed such a loud presentation of excitement, the other students were vividly talking amongst themselves regardless. The projection cut out as the announcement concluded. The students began to wonder again, likely to try out what the climbing center and spa lounge had to offer. Everyone seemed to be breaking into their own groups while I stood still. I was excited, but the feeling of uncertainty stirred in the depths of my mind, suffocating that excitement. Do I? Do I really belong here? As far as I know, I'm not an ultimate student. No intense talents, no masterful skills, not even interesting experiences. I started to feel sick with anxiety. Hey, Echo, I'm going to the spa with Pandora. Would you like to join us? No thanks. You two go on ahead. I'm actually feeling a little tired from all the running around. I think I'll just take a nap. Ashley looked at me with understanding eyes. Silent, understanding eyes. Alright then, if you change your mind, you know where to find us. She gave me another quick hug before pairing up with Pandora. Ash, why didn't you tell me about your talent? I trudged down the stairs back to the first floor foyer. There I saw Kanon in almost the same position she was in when I first met her. She didn't tell me if she had an ultimate title when we introduced ourselves. Perhaps she doesn't have one either. I thought about approaching her to ask, but my throat felt dry. Indeed, my mouth is dry. I didn't feel like being disappointed in the case she did have an ultimate talent. I quickly turned the corner before Kanon would notice me when I heard the sound of shutter clicking. I turned around. She's the ultimate reporter. I turned around to see Kanon developing. Cause Kanon, her name is camera. Picture from an old camera. How do you have a camera? What do you mean how? I just thought we were disallowed our personal possessions. I didn't have anything in my room, and when I asked Ash, she said she didn't have anything in her room either. I'm al- I'm an ultimate photographer. I need my tools, don't I? Nice. Photographer, then that picture you just took. She soundly handed me the developed photo. It was a picture of my back as I was leaving to avoid speaking to her. I thought she hadn't noticed me. This, I know what you're thinking. It's a horrible picture of you. I know it is to the average person anyway. Confused, I stared at the photo longer. I'm not a portrait photographer. I specialize in a composition of form called Rückenfigur, which literally translates to back figure. Okay. I handed the photo back to her. That's interesting. Kanon suddenly took the photo and snuck it in her pocket before occupying herself with her camera once more. I admit I didn't try to sound very enthused. In truth, I wasn't. Kanon did have an ultimate talent after all. If that's the case, what am I doing here? My heart and mind were racing. Am I just an anomaly? Was this all a mistake? Did I accidentally take the spot an actual ultimate student was meant to take? No way. My voice croaked in desperation. This lavish mansion was meant to protect ultimate students, those students and their wide-reaching influential skills. Those students whose charismatic aura reassured my averageness. Those students who were dexterous masters of their craft. Those students who created nostalgia, inducing delights. Those students who won races upon races with pure skill. I couldn't take it anymore. I can't. I can't. I can't. What's wrong with you? You're shaking. I barely heard Kanon. I'll leave for the front door. I need to evacuate myself from the overbearing presence of the whole people who accomplish near impossible feats at such a young age. I was just an insignificant bug who wandered into Alliance then. I don't belong here. I grasped the door handle so tightly I saw my knuckles turn white, but soon... Oh! I only saw black. Oh, that happened. So the truth is now exposed. I rarely opened my eyes. I was in bed back in my personal room, or so I thought. You're awake. I was in Forte's room. Forte was sitting in a love seat at the corner of his room, combing over what looked like a sheet music before he approached me and offered some water. I graciously accepted the cup and gathered my thoughts. My right hand was tingling. After gaining my composure, I managed to croak out a question. Forte, what happened to me? Curious, that's what I would like to know. Huh? What do you mean? Well, after the welcome announcement, I inspected the jazz club but was quickly uninterested in the venue. I went downstairs to retreat to my personal quarters for the afternoon but was promptly stopped at the foot of the stairs by Kanon. She said you collapsed at the foot of the foyer's front doors. Kanon told me to keep an eye on you and quickly left. I scoffed. How considerate of her to have someone else take care of me. But why you collapsed, she did not say. It came back to me. I wasn't behaving clearly. Yeah, I remember now. I was talking to Kanon in the foyer, but I felt a need to escape and was electrocuted when I grabbed the foyer door handle. Electrocuted? Forte was repelled. I, on the other hand, felt nothing. I took another sip of water and I closed my eyes. I felt wildly fatigued. Forte's looked at me with a concerned silence for a minute. Echoed, it might not be my place to say, but shouldn't you feel a need to escape? We're all being generously treated with a safe occasion to relax in away from danger. Oh, you don't understand. I don't have an ultimate talent like the rest of you. My head dropped in shame, regret, humiliation. I don't have any skills or talent to offer the world. I fell silent again. Be that as it may, you still are pure who shouldn't feel outcast from the rest of the group. You must be with us for a reason. I gazed into the water cup blankly. Come, the rest of the group is in the dining hall. I believe they are just starting dinner. Forte placed a firm hand on my shoulder before offering his hand to help me out of the bed. I complied quietly. The dining hall was fully occupied by a small class. Hey, there you are. Art waved at me from the end of the table as I entered the dining hall, causing everyone's heads to turn. Ash and Pandora quickly ran to my side. What happened to you? Are you okay? Folks, please allow Echo to have a seat before bombarding any questions. The rest of the class paused their dinner as I was helped into my seat by Ashley. Kanon wasn't at the table, rather she was standing next to the entryway. She must have noticed me looking at her and turned away once more. Before I could confront her about what happened in the foyer, Missy placed a forked cutlet meal before me. Ashley wouldn't stop fitting in concerns to your well-being, so I took the liberty of getting a meal ready for you whenever you decided to come down. This is just what I needed. How did you know? I didn't. Perhaps I was just lucky. Missy shrugged indifferently, but I saw her mouth turn a small grin. She seemed satisfied with it, having pleased me. I gave her a small smile back and helped myself to a small portion to regain my energy. We all had dinner together, with a conversation lively touching on everyone's mutual awareness of the preservation project. It was a project which ultimate students who signed up would be placed under protective custody to preserve their skills to benefit the future. I, of course, wasn't aware. Most all had similar stories of discovering their talents and individually growing up in an environment where all they knew was that particular skill, yet they still rose to super excel beyond the world's wildest expectations. My mind went blank with white noise whenever the topic of ultimate talents came up. As well, all finished our meals. Cyrus offered to pick up the dishes as everyone else relentlessly waited for whatever happened to me. Echo, you have no idea how worried I was. Ashley was holding my hand tightly. Ash, if you're feeling up to it, would you mind talking about what happened? I glanced over at Kanon next to the entryway. Her face was an iron mask. Oh well, I was feeling tired from running around the mansion exploring, so after the welcome announcement in the session in the second floor atrium, I decided to go back to the personal room for a nap. Going down to the foyer, I was curious about the front door. I wanted to go outside, so naturally I grabbed the door handle, but was electrocuted by it. You lied, you lied. Forte found me collapsed and carried me back to his room to rest. You were electrocuted by the door handle? Perhaps we should investigate. What? And get electrocuted ourselves? Of course not. Doesn't he want to inspect the door handle for any suspicious mechanisms? We should also check the floor map again to see if there are any other similar exits outside. And what would this accomplish? It would ensure our safety so that nothing like this happens again. But our safety as ultimate students in the preservation project safe house has already been compromised by the existence of such a trap. The crew fell silent. Cyrus was right. It would seems already fall into some kind of trap the moment we arrived. So we're just going to do nothing? Kan's indifferent voice broke the silence. Kan's right, we shouldn't sit idly by after our friend Echo was put in danger. We ought to investigate if not as an insurance measure, but to get to the bottom of the trap that caused such harm. The group agreed and went their separate ways to search for clues, but before anyone could get very far, an announcement cut in. Okay, it is now 9 p.m. All main room lights will go out at 10 p.m. for nighttime. Facilities will be closed until the next morning. It seems like we'll just have to suspend the investigation until tomorrow. There's no use in wandering about aimlessly in the dark. Sounds like a plan. We shall meet here tomorrow morning for a breakfast and discussion. The group said their goodnights as the discussion wrapped for the evening. Ashley stopped me back in the dining hall as the rest of the group left. Look, Echo, I'm sorry if you felt hurt that I didn't tell you about my talent. How? How did you know? I'm your best friend, aren't I? I can tell when you're distraught. It was after that special welcome announcement I noticed you were off. It must have been difficult feeling like you don't belong. I admit, it's all been awfully overwhelming. I never meant to keep it from you, it's just I feel like being involved with me could only ever cause trouble. Not the horse racing aspect, but the ultimate student status aspect. To get tied up with such intense people could only amount to ultimate levels of trouble. The ultimate trouble. Ash, you know I'm your friend though, true and true. I don't think being friends with Ashley, Westbridge Horse Girl, is any trouble at all. Ashley giggled. I love you, Echo. You really are a good friend. Ooh, Renzo. Of course, I love you too. We made our way back to the living quarters hall and said our goodnights. Before entering my room, I saw Art and Lyle lingering in the halls. Hey, you two, what's up? Someone's gonna die. We're having a strategy meeting. Strategy meeting? Art asked me if perhaps our being locked in the mansion's journey is a big puzzle. Think about it, escape rooms exist, so maybe this mansion is just one giant escape room. I admit it's not impossible and it sounds interesting, right? What do you think though? I'm not sure yet. I have a feeling it's just some convoluted art scheme. Art alternate reality game. It's a type of game that is interacted with through different media experience, whether it be online or in real life. Tasks range from decrypting audio logs on a website to doing something odd like cleaning up local cemeteries. It seems plausible to fuse an electrocuting door could be added to the list of tasks, huh? Well, they're typically employed to the public to boost attention for a product. If this is an ARG, there must be a puppet master that's setting things up, much like an escape room's game master. An escape room and ARG sound pretty similar in terms of involvement and puzzle solving. I suppose they're not entirely different entities. Lyle is such a smart guy. Puzzles are my strong suit. I said goodnight and left Art and Lyle to conclude their strategy meeting as I returned to my personal room. And they died. So much happened today. I felt the mental and physical exhaustion hit me all at once as I let myself collapse onto my bed. To think I'd be stuck in a luxury mansion with super talented students. My life before this moment had hardly been as eventful as this single day. I live a rather average life with this little trouble one could hope for. It was almost utopian in a sense. I never thought it boring or repetitive. It was my immaterial life that caused me to be the little more worrisome than any other person, likely as a will to keep everything as the same going forward. However, this strange situation has thrown me in a state of disarray. I was out of my element. I signed heavily. I need to get some proper rest. The room was mysteriously fixed with a few sets of my clothing and a small personal bathroom. I let my body relax as I took a warm shower before heading off to bed. Tomorrow, what will we discover? Nice, so that's a prologue. What's in the middle? Wait, what? Wait, it's just starting? It's been 1 hour, Dad. Let's save. Ring, ring, ring. I opened my eyes at the sound of the alarm. In my personal room, I sat up from bed and took in the surroundings. So the events of yesterday weren't some kind of strange dream. My personal room that I initially thought was luxurious and comfortable now felt oppressive. It wasn't mine, it couldn't be, since this mansion we're in was for ultimate students. I was reminded of my mediocrity and let my head fall back on the pillow. Oh, I don't want to see everyone. Knock knock. I heard Ashley's voice through the door. Good morning, Echo. Just coming to check on you. I'll be right out. After getting properly dressed, I met Ashley outside my door in the living quarters hallway. Good morning, Ash. We walked casually down the hall to the foyer. You sleep alright last night? Yeah, I slept alright considering. I hope you're not feeling too down about this whole situation. I'm still coming to terms with it, but I'm feeling a little better after getting rest. That's good to hear. You've always been good at bouncing back. In the foyer we were met with some other students loitering outside the dining hall. Oh, sorry I'm not a morning person. Me neither, but I'm really curious about the door. The door seems scary. Good morning, say Lyle. Good morning, let's investigate to our best ability, yeah? You seem better, Echo. Nothing, nothing a good night's rest can take care of. True that. Yeah, morning. In the dining hall, the warm aroma of fresh bread wafted through the room. Good morning, it's you. Pandora, have you been baking by yourself this whole time? Of course I had to get an early start if I want to treat you all to some treats to begin the morning. She placed a basket filled to the brim with freshly baked delicacies at the center of the dining table. The smell alone made me feel intense, nostalgic emotions. I sat at the dining table and waited patiently for the rest of the class to arrive. The rest of the class filtered in and we began to help ourselves to bread and beverages provided by the automated menu as Missy began the discussion. Good morning. All, I trust you all have had a good night. Our topic this morning consists primarily of the problematic nature of the forest front doors. We will also be visiting the rest of the mansion for any other exits that might have similar mechanism keeping us from going outside. Well guys, I will end this one here, so I hope you had fun watching me play the game. I think this is gonna be a long prologue, so I'm gonna end the video here, so let's meet again on the next part. I will record it tomorrow, rest assured. So thanks guys, and yeah, take care.